Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing one of my all-time most requested videos, which is making my French seamed tulle overlay piece. It's hard to describe what it is, but it's pretty cool. So let's get into it. For today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make the mini length of this dress, which requires about 200 yards of pre-cut tulle. These are 6 inches in width, and I will link my supplier below, but they, I think, are based in Australia, so if you're in a different country you might need to source these elsewhere. If you want to make a T-length or a full-length version of this gown, you certainly can, but you might need more like 300, 400, 500 yards of the tulle, depending on how gathered your skirt is and how long you want to make it. If you want to work with regular tulle from your craft store, you can, but just know that the time commitment of cutting out all that tulle will be pretty extensive because we need a lot of it. Also, I would highly recommend working with some tulle weight needles. So they should just be a bit thinner than the regular needles you use with cotton, and that's just going to help you get a better finish with your stitching. Okay, you guys have been asking me for this tutorial for so long, and I think you're going to be surprised at how easy it is. It's just really time consuming. You're going to need like a lot of time. For this dress, everything is cut out of the 6-inch tulle, so you don't need to worry about width, which is amazing. What you need for this tutorial are 4 bodice pieces and 4 tie pieces. Now for the bodice pieces, you're going to need to take a bust measurement with a tape measure right around the bust. So mine is about 35 inches, and that is tight around the bust. So I'm going to add probably about 1-2 inches of ease and then add my seam allowance. And I'll just need to divide that by 2 to get my bodice pieces. So one more repeat of the measurements are: take the bust measurement, add a few inches for ease, add your seam allowance, and divide that by 2, and that is the panel that you're going to need 4 of. Then you're going to cut out your tie straps, and your tie straps are the width of the pre-cut roll, which is 6 inches, and then however long you want them to be. You could make them just regular straps that just fit over your shoulder, or you can make them tie and really flowy. My preferred length is about 40 inches, and that just allows for the strap to have a little bit of dangle over, kind of floats in the breeze. These are all of the pattern pieces that we need to cut out, and everything else is just going to come straight from the pre-cut roll. So basically for the bodice piece, we're going to have 2 bodices, the inside and the outside, kind of just like we're lining it. What you're going to do is put 2 of your bodice pieces together and sew them down the side seams here and here. And you're going to repeat that process for your inner shell, down the side seam here and here. Also, when I'm sewing this piece, I just like to turn my stitch length down a tiny bit. So I usually sew on a 3, and I'm going to just do probably like a 2.5 and just have a little play on some scrap pieces of tulle with my tension to make sure that my stitches are as clean and as neat as possible, and definitely not tugging the tulle. So once you've finished sewing both of your bodice pieces, what we're going to do is trim the seam allowance down to probably 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to press all 4 of those seams out. Now that you've finished your 2 bodice pieces and you've pressed those seams out, we're going to set them aside and we're going to work on the straps. You've got your straps, mine are about 40 inches long, and we're just going to iron them in half, and then we will sew our straps. I hope you can see how much more crisp this strap is now, and it's ready to be sewn. So what we're going to do is sew the top edge across and all the way down the long edge, leaving one edge open, and that is where we're going to flip our tube right sides out. And also just repeat this process for all 4 straps. Now that I've finished sewing my 4 straps, I'm going to cut off the excess seam allowance, flip them right sides out, and then I'm going to press them nice and flat, and I think I'm going to top stitch them. Every time I make this, I'm like, do I top stitch the straps? And I have to go through photos and look, but I'm pretty sure I top stitch them. Although these straps are pretty wide and they're pretty easy to turn out, I'm going to still show you my favorite technique, which kind of changed my life. Here is the seam that I closed up, and I'm just gonna, for this instance, use my thumb, and I'm just gonna press it. I'll try and keep it in contrast here. I'm just gonna press my thumb through and like push that closed end all the way to the open end. And then you can pull the whole strap out, right sides out. And if you're doing this with a thinner strap, you can just use a paintbrush or something like that to push that end through. It's incredible. Such a good way to turn a strap right sides out. This is the difference between a pressed strap and a non-pressed strap. And you can see this one looks so crisp and pretty, and this one's like, ugh. Straps are acquired. Now I'm just going to top stitch the edges of these straps as close as humanly possible to the edge. So I'm going to go all the way up, across, and all the way down. Now that you have top stitched all 4 straps, you can just give them a good press. Then they will be ready to attach to the bodice. What we're going to do is sandwich the straps in between the 2 tulle bodice pieces. So the bodice pieces need to be put together, right sides together, and with their seams aligned. But basically, a really good thing at this stage would probably just be hold it up to your bust and just kind of figure out roughly where you want those straps to sit. Basically, you're taking a strap and you're putting it in between the like good side and the lining side, and you're just letting that raw edge of the strap sit out the top, and the rest of the strap is just facing downwards. And you're going to repeat that for all 4 straps. So now that all your straps are pinned, you can sew all the way around the circumference of the top, securing the straps at roughly a 1/2 of an inch seam allowance. We're getting there. What I'm going to do now that I've sewn my straps on is just cut off all of the seam allowance, probably down to 1/8 of an inch, really, really small, because we're going to press that out and then top stitch around. Sometimes I find it helpful to work with the top around the ironing board so I can see the front from the back. Anyway, I've turned this right sides out now, and I'm just going to be pressing the top, trying to get this seam all the way to the edge. Okay, the top is basically done. It's flipped right sides out now. It's been pressed. What I'm going to do is run a top stitch at 1/8 inch seam allowance, which is basically just as close as you can get it to the edge. I'm going to do that all the way around the top edge, and I'm also going to do the same around the bottom edge, which just secures it in place so that it won't like flip out weirdly or anything. And you just got to make sure that you're catching both the front and the back pieces, and that your side seams are aligned. Yeah. So the top part's done, so that's awesome. I'm gonna have lunch now, and then we're gonna get into the skirt, which is really where the bulk of time is spent. But it's also pretty fun. I am replenished and fed, and I'm ready to do the skirt. Ish. So, the structure of the dress goes as follows. Bodice, 2 gathered tiers, then 3 not gathered tiers. First we have to do the 2 gathered tiers, and what we're going to do is just gather a lot of this fabric until I think I have enough for the first tier, and then I'm going to do a lot extra for the second tier. We should want at least 20 to 25 meters of this for the second tier. The way that I'm going to gather this is by just lengthening my stitch length and tightening my tension on my machine and potentially just pinching that top thread. I have a little play and see what kind of gather I'm getting, and I just have a play until it looks good, and I let my machine do all of the hard work for me. I have enough ruffle for my first tier, so I'm going to show you how to attach it. What we're going to be doing is French seaming all of our seams, which requires putting wrong side to wrong side, stitching it down, encasing that seam, again stitching it down, and then I also top stitch. So for every tier that we attach, it's 3 rounds around the skirt. When I attach the skirt pieces, I don't do any pinning, and I also don't finish the loop of the skirt. I just work with a really long rectangle, and I leave probably about 20 centimeters that isn't sewn at the end, and that's just to give us some room because we'll close up the skirt at the end of attaching it. I hope that makes sense, but I'll try and show you properly. To the end of attaching that first layer of skirt, you might have some excess ruffle like I do, and you can just roughly chop off that excess. It's really important that you've left a gap where you haven't sewn the skirt to the bodice, because we're going to need some space to do the sewing. Now, what we're going to do is take the right and the left sides of the skirt, and we're going to attach them so that the wrong side of the seam faces the bodice. And now we can finish sewing down the tier of the skirt. After trimming your seam allowance, what we're going to do for this next step is flip the skirt other way around, and we're going to encase the seam that we just sewed with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And that is going to create a French seam. Skirt is attached, which is amazing. So I like to push my seams up, all of them going up to the tier above them. And I'm going to top stitch right along the top of that seam. First tier done. I think the top stitching definitely makes a big difference. It just makes everything sit nice and neat and flat. And when we keep adding the tiers, everything will look so uniform, which I think is a really good thing. If you're following along, you can attach the next layer of skirt exactly like this one. The next layer is just another gathered layer. And I will meet you back at the end of that. Good luck with your second tier. Second tier, done. So that means we have come to the end of the gathered tiers. Of course, if you want yours to continue going out, then you can keep adding gathered tiers, but this is roughly the amount of gather that I want for my garment. So I'm leaving it here, and the remaining 3 tiers are going to be ungathered tiers. So I'm going to repeat this process of wrong sides together, French seam, and top stitching that seam up for the next 3 tiers, and then hem it. So I'm going to go ahead and start this next tier and show you how to do it without the gathering, and then I'm just going to keep doing my tiers until it's finished. You can do as many as you want, as little as you want. It could even just be a cute little shirt. The options are endless. Okay, I'm up to the French seaming part of my 3rd tier, which is now not gathered. Yay! So I'm just folding it. I've already sewn it together, wrong sides together, just folding it over and then encasing that seam as I have for the last 2, but it gets a lot easier once it's not gathered. My 3rd tier, which is the first ungathered tier, and so it's looking really fluffy and fun, and it's just gonna keep, it's so exciting seeing it get bigger and bigger. I've still got 2 more tiers to go for the mini length, and then I will hem it, and I think that's when I will check in with you next. I've finished sewing, I've time traveled into the future, and I've finished doing my laps around until I had 5 tiers, and all that's left to do is hem it. So let's do that. The way I hem this is simply by folding up a 1/2 inch and then folding up a 1/2 inch again and stitching it along there. Very simple hemming, except the only thing to note with tulle is just not to pull as you go along. Really try and take it slowly and make sure that the tulle is sitting as naturally as possible. It's done! The hem is all finished and the piece is done, which is so exciting. Before I show you the finished result, I thought I would just share my top tips for sewing with tulle or sewing this project, and they are: work very slowly and patiently and maybe over a long period of time. Don't rush. Also, use a thinner needle or like a tulle grade needle and have a play with tension and with stitch length, just to make sure those stitches are laying flat and neat. And absolutely take your time with trimming your seam allowance and making sure those French seams are all facing the right direction when you top stitch. That is one of the things that contributes to this piece looking very polished. Otherwise, have fun, pick a bunch of movies to watch as you chip away at this project, and I would love to see if you make anything inspired by this. Anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye to you here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. Every single person that's interacted here has just made my heart sing. I appreciate you so much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and let's go to the montage. Bye!